high noon in the Lone Star State.
This
is WrestleMania weekend.
WrestleMania weekend, yeah!
And the superstars of NXT stand on the doorstep to immortality.
This is Stand and Deliver.
We will stand.
I will stand.
I stand before the world to deliver on a promise. On my promise.
I will cement my legacy to deliver on my promise.
My promise. 約束を果たす.
Of becoming the greatest women's champion of all time.
We stand before the world
To climb to the top.
to build my legacy, to reach my potential as the A champion.
You think you got WrestleMania weekend all figured out?
And new NXT champion.
But old DZ screws it up for everybody.
We stand on the shoulders of giants. Let me talk to you. I will stand victorious. We will stand. We will stand as champions. In Dallas,
I will stand as champion.
Will stand as champion.
I deliver a reality check.
Another show stealer.
I will deliver.
I will deliver.
We will deliver my moment. One step closer. One step closer.
One step closer.
To immortality.
Immortality.
And now, Applebee's presents NXT Stand and Deliver.
Here we're looking live inside the American Airlines Center as NXT is on the doorstep of the grandest stage of them all, WrestleMania. Who will take a giant step towards immortality? Who will begin to build their own legacy? Simply put, tonight, who will stand and deliver? Welcome in ringside, I'm Vic Joseph along with Wade Barrett, and are you ready? It is Dallas. It is the first time in nearly 2 years NXT is on the road.
Listen, my own career was shot out of a cannon in this very arena 12 years ago when I won NXT Season 1. The same thing is going to happen today as some of our top NXT superstars are going to stand and deliver.
And we're kicking things off with a ladder match here at Stand and Deliver.
The following contest is a ladder match for the NXT North American Championship. Introducing Cameron Grimes.
And you see the focus in the eyes of Cameron Grimes. Wait, tonight is more than just about a championship.
Yeah, Cameron Grimes has been highly emotional in the run-up to today, and Stand and Deliver says he is doing this for his late father who brought him into this industry. He promised his late father one day he was going to be a champion here in NXT. I'll be honest, it's a heartwarming story. Does it mean it's going to happen? No, life simply isn't like that for me. You don't get happy endings for free in this world. The truth is, if Cameron Grimes wants to make it happen, he needs to leave the emotion outside of the ring and get the business done.
You see the field all looking up at the North American Championship.
Accompanied by Trick Williams, he is the NXT North American Champion, Carmelo Hayes.
Who will be be the first one to climb the ladder, retrieve the title, and call themselves North American Champion. And it's this superstar who has been the A champion. And look, you've been in his boots on the same weekend.
Man, I've got to tell you, 7 years ago, I was forced to put my Intercontinental Championship on the line in a ladder match at WrestleMania. It did not end well for me. The difference being Carmelo Hayes elected to have this matchup. He has chosen to do it because he is supremely confident. He wants to take on the best because he believes he can beat the absolute best. The question is this going to be a foolish move from Carmelo Hayes, or is this a stroke of genius to cement his legacy here in NXT? Only time is going to tell.
And look, Wade, this match, this sets the tone for WrestleMania weekend. These 5 superstars.
Listen, a lot of pressure on the shoulders. 4 of these men had to qualify to be in the matchup and get the right to challenge Carmelo Hayes for the North American Championship. These really are the best of the best here in NXT. What a crew, what a match. This, I believe, is going to be a highlight reel.
We also have to mention on the outside, Legado del Fantasma. We see Trick Williams as well, and it is all about the North American title.
This is the most important championship here, and you don't deserve it. None of y'all.
Oh, time for talk is over, and it's got to be said the A champion put himself in this position.
Well, he's been like this from day one. Fears nobody, and there you go. Trick Williams on the outside. That's his boy helping out from the word go, as he has done throughout the run of the A-Champ.
Now you look around, you see the entire field, and look, you've already talked about Santos Escobar and his history in ladder matches.
Yeah, absolutely. You just need to go back 12 months to Stand and Deliver 2021. Santos Escobar in a ladder match back then for a championship. Of course, the Emperor of Lucha Libre won that particular match. He has form, he has quality, he has class. Can he get the job done today?
Right now, Escobar on the wrong end at Cameron Grimes. But did you see again Trick Williams paying dividends for the A champion? There's Cameron Grimes taking it to Escobar.
Listen, Carmelo Hayes was 99% of the way there before his childhood friend Trick Williams arrived in NXT. They have been unstoppable since they linked up.
Hey,
Trick.
hey,
Where you going, huh? What you want?
well, Williams getting caught at every corner, and there is Solo Sikoa. Used to fighting in the streets, surely no stranger to using his environment.
Yeah, listen to me, the big difference is though all the experience and toughness of the street fighter from the island, Solo Sikoa. He has never once in his life been in an environment like this, not just the high pressure situation of NXT Stand and Deliver on WrestleMania weekend, but fighting 4 other top athletes with ladders.
Now you're looking around, you see the field, and it's Hayes, it's Escobar, and look, this is the biggest stage. All 5 of these superstars have competed in the butterflies. They've got to be the size of eagles here this afternoon.
Yeah, this is a huge step up for NXT as a whole, but you know for a fact that Santos Escobar thrives in a high-pressure, high-spotlight situation.
Look at Grimes now, trying to take advantage. Hayes not going to like the view when he turns around. I didn't think we'd see any teamwork in this match.
Trust me, this will be a loose alliance. Your friend at any moment in time can turn into your enemy in a heartbeat in this kind of matchup. Too much at stake, too much on the line.
Well, speaking enemies, Grayson Waller said he would go viral here tonight, and now it's Waller yelling out to his own personal security.
Here's the deal. We've got Legado del Fantasma on the outside. We've got Sanger on the outside. We've already seen Trick Williams' involvement. How much of a role are they going to play?
And Waller got that punching background, and Waller just took out Legado.
Former amateur boxer, and man, he can bang in that ring.
You imagine imagine if Grayson Waller is the one to climb the ladder and retrieve the North American title?
I'm telling you this, Grayson Waller, as much as I disdain the man, as much as I think he's a snake, he's a rat, he's a coward, he will always take the lowest way possible to get what he wants. The truth is, he is one hell of an athlete, he's one hell of a competitor. With Sanga by his side, he might be unstoppable.
Oh, and speaking of being unstoppable, look who just turned into a one-man wrecking crew.
Human brick wall is Sanga, the size of the man, just sheer humanity. Got to be well over 300 pounds, but a kick to the jaw, kick to the chest will stop anyone in his tracks.
Trending number one, they stand and deliver, and look who just went airborne.
Yeah, but look at Sanga, barely went down to one knee.
Escobar.
Human torpedo, the emperor of Lucha Libre, on a mission to continue running the bingo here in NXT.
What a hard-hitting matchup for these. What's on Cameron Grimes' mind?
Here's the deal, in a matchup like this, you have to put everything on the line, including your health and well-being, in order to climb that ladder.
Look at Carmelo Hayes. Hayes realizing he's looking up at the title. He's looking around. Carmelo Hayes takes out Cameron Grimes.
These guys are out of their minds. Everybody putting it all on the line. Take another look at this human demolition derby that we are witnessing in the opening matchup of Stand and Deliver.
Look, it's all about high risk to have high reward, and the biggest reward is become the North American champion, and you can see the A champion pulling out all the stops, but there's only one man standing, Grayson Waller.
Yeah, and isn't he loving every second of it?
And Waller.
Smartest thing I've ever seen Grayson Waller done. You've got the ring to yourself, make it count.
Waller climbing, Waller quickly, and it's Sikoa. Oh, cutting off Waller, who was very close, 2 rungs away from the title.
Yeah, got himself an 8-foot ladder there, needed a 10-foot ladder perhaps to be within touching distance of that North American Championship, dangling way above the ring.
I think the last thing that Solo Sikoa needs in his hands is a ladder.
Gotta be handy with the steel. If you come from the streets, you gotta earn your keep, and Solo Sikoa knows exactly how to do that.
You're taking a look at this matchup. You've competed in ladder matches time and time again. I mean, what sort of strategy now needs to be implemented by any of these superstars?
Listen, I'm telling you, within the first 2 minutes of this matchup, any strategy anybody had probably went out the window once they tasted the steel of those ladders. And I'm sure Carmelo Hayes had the best of confidence, the best of intentions, but that confidence must be eroding before our eyes as he's sandwiched between 2 ladders.
And right now it is Sikoa who's in the driver's seat. Oh, 3 for 1.
For me, Solo Sikoa is absolutely the outsider in this matchup. We've simply seen less of him in NXT than we have any of his opponents in this matchup. We know he has great pedigree, even though he flies
solo. He might be the outsider, but right now he's got the inside track to the North American title.
Well,
Sikoa, run by run.
This is all. Cameron Grimes, just in the nick of time, did not want to see his big opportunity slip through his grasp after he struggled for weeks to get this matchup.
Look, you can see the welts forming on the body of Cameron Grimes. And Grimes' knees buckled by Sikoa.
A welt on your body is absolutely the least of your problems in this kind of matchup. I've seen individuals snap limbs, be busted wide open.
Well, Grimes now said he's the only male in his family to carry on his dad's name. It's what's fueling him here tonight. But he's gonna need all the passion. He's gonna need all the drive and determination to get up to the top of the ladder.
A lot of moving elements in this matchup. For me, the favorite has to be the man who is the best mover of his generation, the A-champ for me. That is Carmelo Hayes. You will not see a more fluid athlete in that ring.
Boy, that Trick Williams wanted nothing to do with Cameron Grimes, and neither does Carmelo Hayes.
Just poleaxed in full flow, did a full 360 spin. But here's the problem, just as you get a little bit of momentum, somebody like the Emperor of Lucha Libre, Santos Escobar, is waiting in the wings to take over.
Elektra Lopez.
No disqualifications in this matchup, of course.
No! And now it's Santos Escobar. Could it be his destiny to wear gold once again here in NXT?
Absorbing the spotlight, all eyes on Santos. This is your opportunity.
Waller just gets dropped, and now Escobar, the only one with a ladder in his hands. And this could be Escobar's moment.
And I'm telling you, historically speaking, you rarely get more than 10 seconds to scale that ladder.
He didn't even get 10.
He got about 6.5, and Grayson Waller leaping athletically out of nowhere as only he can. Oh, this would be the worst way to kick off Stand and Deliver if the coward Grayson Waller takes this home.
Waller is able to turn around. Now Waller all the way to the tippy top. Waller has his hands on the title for a moment. A-Champion sensed it. A-Champion, though, comes in and gets lifted and then planted by Waller. Whoa, whoa. Hayes had other things on his mind.
Such is the cat-like reflexes of Carmelo Hayes. Turns an L into a W in short time, but a punch to the jaw will stop anyone.
Risk these superstars are willing to take.
Oh, yes! Clean the clock of the arrogant Aussie Grayson Waller. He's out of there. Now's your chance, A-Champ.
Take one more look. And now it's Carmelo Hayes who is starting his climb to retain the championship. And one more time, Solo Sikoa able to come in and cut off Carmelo Hayes.
Carmelo Hayes has springs in his boots.
Whoa! No more spring.
Solo Sikoa has stone in his fists and stone in his feet. Made it count there, and now's your big opportunity, Solo Sikoa.
NXT Universe rallying Solo Sikoa, who's starting his climb. So much taken out of Sikoa as now Escobar joins the fray.
You just see these athletes now slowly climbing the ladder due to the wear and tear. They've all absorbed at this point. It's hard to pick a winner. Such is the level of abuse. Santos Escobar fingers on the North American Championship.
Looking back up again. Almost out of desperation, Sikoa. Oh, no. Feel the impact. Boom! One more time, listen. That is a grown man bouncing off of a steel ladder.
That is the spine.
Unreal.
That is the back of the neck, bouncing off solid steel. Solo Sikoa must be 260 pounds.
This indeed is awesome. And now it's, Escobar in with the high knee. This is how we are kicking off Stand and Deliver WrestleMania Saturday.
And this is the experience factor kicking in now, but out of nowhere, oscillating wildly. Cameron Grimes managing to keep himself in this fight.
There are bodies scattered all throughout the American Airlines Center. The NXT North American title hanging high above the ring. Who will be the first to climb the ladder, retrieve the title, call themselves... Shit, Trick Williams isn't in this match.
This ain't a good idea.
What the hell? Did you see the strength? Mendoza.
Elektra Lopez serving as a distraction just long enough. Now pulling double duty on the big man Sanga or Legado del Fantasma.
Trying to chop down Sanga.
You might need more men.
Wait a minute. Waller! NXT Universe loving it. Wilder and Mendoza might not be loving it right now.
Nothing the referees can do about this. What a massive distraction we've got going on at ringside, but Sanga looks unstoppable.
Take a look at just the pure carnage. Take another look.
Elektra Lopez doing what luchadors do best, He has learned well from the master, Santos Escobar.
Oh, Wilden Mendoza. Sandwiching. Single!
Let's face it, nobody in the history of NXT has played the numbers game better than Legado del Fantasma.
I hate to agree with you.
Did they need it tonight to stop Sanger in his tracks?
Right now, you just take a look at everything going on. I mean, did you think we would have this sort of carnage in this matchup?
The ringside area has been trashed. And this is match number 1.
Sikoa, hoists up 1, no way. Sikoa planning, Legado.
Absolute powerhouse of a
No
man.
one's standing, Wade.
This is your big opportunity now. You have to take this when you get it.
Sikoa trying to manipulate this ladder that has been bent and mangled, and now starting his climb.
Just how sturdy is the ladder at this point? Just how sturdy are the legs of Solo Sikoa? And just how long has he got?
Sikoa's got to go maybe one more step. Escobar quickly starting to rise.
Shows the lack of
Trick
oh no!
Williams!
Trick Williams instrumental in this matchup thus far, as he has been the entire reign of the A-Champ, Carmelo Hayes. Oh no.
Wait. Can he do this?
Well,
Trick's scared of heights.
yeah, this ain't a good idea, Trick.
Williams.
That is the face of fear.
But how? Williams so close.
He's doing it for his boy, though.
I mean, this would. Cameron Grimes. This is the moment for Grimes. Trying to pull back the ladder. Take a look. Cameron Grimes. Oh, what a nasty landing for Trick Williams. And Cameron Grimes, rung by rung, so much has been taken out of all these superstars. So much has been taken out of Cameron Grimes. Grimes not moving at the normal pace in which he would.
Just too difficult to climb that ladder rapidly after the abuse that body of Cameron Grimes has taken.
Well, it's Carmelo calling his shot. And when Hayes shoots, he don't miss.
Ladder's
So
way out of
close.
position.
Waller! Slugging away Waller now, right there. Carmelo Hayes trying to fight to retain his title. Hayes, ooh!
Not the spot you want to be duking it out with anyone. I've been in this position before. Hell awaits you in the form of gravity.
Cameron Grimes might be more centered than Hayes as he starts his climb. Here comes Sikoa.
All 5 men now in the ring, scaling ladders. It's up for grabs here.
Oh, rubber legs. And look at Escobar. Escobar.
Eye on the Emperor at
What a
all
sight to
times.
behold. Escobar trying to reach his foot. 4 hands, going for 1 title. Who will grab the gold? Everyone jockeying for position. Oh, the first 2 take a tumble.
Yeah, positions like this never end well, historically speaking.
Ooh, liver shot, and that'll drop anyone.
How do you block a shot when you're clinging on for dear life?
Oh, and Waller. Escobar, there's only 2 left. Escobar!
Then there was one.
Well, does Waller want to go viral and become champion? He wants to become champion.
How better way to go viral than winning that championship?
Waller was so close to unhooking the title. Escobar at the last split second, just able to get his hands on the ankle of Waller.
That 5 seconds of hesitation there cost Grayson Waller. Does he get a second bite at the cherry, however?
Both men teetering, and it's Escobar now. Oh my God! But wait a minute! Oh! Human demolition derby.
All 5 men down. Solo Sikoa, perhaps the only one capable of stirring.
Look Look at Sikoa trying to clear a little bit of the wreckage inside the ring. I mean, one more time. I mean, absolutely unreal. But as soon as Santos could blink, he was getting squashed as Escobar now. Or excuse me, Sikoa, so close to the title, getting ripped right back down.
And herein lies the issue. There's always somebody waiting in the wings to rip you back down.
You take a look around, Cameron Grimes, at this moment, at this juncture, he can look around. There's no one there.
Solo Sikoa already
Also now, after a cave-in onto the ladder.
Solo Sikoa is toast at this point.
Is this it for Cameron Grimes? Is this the moment? Carmelo Hayes somehow. Oh, to your point you just made, Wade. It's hard to keep anyone down.
This is the big risk that Carmelo Hayes wanted to take. Give me the best. Give me 4 of the best. Put them in a ring with me with my North American Championship on the line. And you know what? Let's add ladders into the mix. Crazy, crazy, crazy. And now Grayson Waller. What on earth has he got in mind?
We talk about going viral.
Set up on the outside of the ring here.
Look at this, you see the end result, but that is what happened for Grayson Waller. He wanted to go viral. That's a lot of risk. And just at the last split second, it's Carmelo Hayes who's back to the live action, starting his climb. Carmelo Hayes may have saved this matchup, may have saved his reign by just getting out of the way as he now has a hand on his title.
Just in the nick of time, but so too is Santos Escobar. Grayson Waller, the daredevil, laying it all on the line, may have broken his own arm in the process, but Phantom Driver from the Emperor of Lucha Libre.
And can Escobar make it 2 years in a row? Can he climb back? Cameron Grimes!
Top rope cave-in.
And Grimes starting to climb!
No way, driven by emotion. Here it is.
Grimes
He's done it.
has done it!
Here is your winner and the new NXT North American Champion, Cameron Grimes.
The emotions pouring from Cameron Grimes. The love from the NXT universe, taking him straight to the moon.
Well, it's been an absolute fairy tale
for
Cameron Grimes, but the worst nightmare for Grayson Waller. Look at
This is hard to watch.
contorted ladder underneath him. Fortunately for Carmelo Hayes, moved out the way. This is unbelievable stuff, and I'm gravely concerned for the welfare of Grayson Waller.
And then back to the ring, Cameron Grimes, realizing his moment, and with maybe a little bit of help from his father, climbed up that ladder and achieved his goal of the year, to become champion, achieving his destiny. Cameron Grimes wishes his late father was here. And I assure you, Cameron, your father is. And he couldn't be more proud of his son here tonight. Well, there we see the challenger for tonight. Braun Breaker has championship dreams of his own. And there is the champion, arriving earlier with Robert Roode, said he will continue to throw a wrench into NXT.
Call the police, but be screaming gang, gang. Boys stop acting like you.
Tommaso Ciampa, so you thought it was a good idea to attack me from behind? Still not. Big mistake. See, on the streets, you start off as a soldier, earn your stripes, make a name for yourself. But as you climb your way up the food chain, there comes a time when you know what's best for the family, which way to steer the ship. So I need to make a decision. Tommaso, I have to remove you from your chair. I'm the guy telling you, whether you like it or not, at Stand and Deliver, it will be your last match. And when I take my rightful place at the top of the family, Tony D will control the streets. Tony D will control that ring. And Tony D will control anything and everything when I become the new Don of NXT. I like the sound of that. That sounds good.
For a long time now, this has been my sanctuary. Not as much mine as it is ours. A place for us to connect. So let us connect. When I first arrived here in NXT, I had so much to prove. To my peers, my fans, my critics, but maybe most importantly, to myself. Now it's been a long journey filled with the highest of highs and the lowest of lows, and you have been a part of it all. Whether you realize it or not, something as public as winning a title or overcoming neck surgery. Something as private as my wife having 5 miscarriages, or the eventual birth of the miracle that is my daughter. Every obstacle, every triumph, every tragedy, you were my constant. And together, man, together we overcame. Together we created black and gold magic. And now I hear all the whispers. Stand and Deliver just might be the end of an era. Well, in Dallas, we will create that magic one final time.
Who is pulling up in a Ford? Oh, answer my own question. Should have known, huh?
Galaxy 500. Wow, maybe it's the future Don of NXT, flanked by the star of Netflix Untold, Crime and Punishment.
Let's go, Paisan.
Let's go.
The leader of the evil empire, AJ Galante, next to him.
You think that car's hot?
Steady on.
I just had to throw it out there.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, accompanied by AJ Galante, Tony D'Angelo.
This is what Tony D'Angelo wanted for weeks and weeks. He talked about a white whale. Tonight, he will get a great white shark at Stand and Deliver. Tony D'Angelo is set tonight to take on one of the pillars of NXT.
He's been flanked here by the real-life Tony Soprano. You're not familiar with AJ Galante, I will respectfully say you have to check him out and make note of his reputation from the Danbury Trashers ice hockey team. He basically turned them into prize fighters on ice. Not a man to be trifled with.
This is my moment.
The greatest sports entertainer of all time.
From DIY Underdog
NXT Tag Team Champion, to the Blackheart, to the single greatest NXT champion of all time. It was worth every damn second. My moment is now.
And his opponent, Tommaso Ciampa.
And if Tony D'Angelo wants to become the Don of this brand, he's going to have to take out a made guy.
Yeah, and let's face it, Tommaso Ciampa is as good as we have ever seen on the NXT brand. The man has done it all. Hats off to Tony D'Angelo, wanted to go one-on-one with Tommaso Ciampa. Many would shy away because the prospect of doing so likely ends in defeat for most. Can Tony D make a change?
Well, that's a tip of the cap, no doubt. And for Tommaso Ciampa, look. Rumors have been swirling. There's been internet chatter. Let's put all that aside. How has Ciampa earned the respect of his peers?
Listen, I'm feeling emotional myself. This is a different Tommaso Ciampa right now. You talk about the respect of his peers. Tommaso Ciampa, quite simply, has a record of delivering excellence for 5 years here in NXT. The man is a two-time NXT champion, conducts business the right way. Rarely, I do say rarely, takes shortcuts, unlike his opponent tonight, Tony D'Angelo. Tommaso Ciampa has put his body on the line for the NXT brand, including breaking his neck, tearing his ACL, all in pursuit of entertaining the NXT universe. The man is unquestionably the locker room leader here in NXT. I've never personally competed with Tommaso Ciampa, but he certainly has my respect.
Well, certainly a different look in the eyes of the former two-time NXT champion. And look, a lot of parallels to the main event. Because much like in the main event, Ciampa has been on this stage. The lights have never been brighter for Tony D'Angelo.
Yeah, this is certainly a big moment in the career of Tony D. A big step up for him. What he's done so far in NXT over the past 6 months has been nothing short of impressive. Tony D, though, he loves the spotlight because the spotlight for him equals money. That's what he's all about. But you're right, the experience factor isn't there yet with Tony D'Angelo. A lot of superstars will be eaten up this weekend by the fact that the pressure, the spotlight, the world's media staring on, and of course this fantastic arena
Disrespect
with the NXT universe.
And look, there's been a plan in place by Tony D'Angelo. The question is, can he execute it fully all the way here tonight? Because Tommaso Ciampa, is it just going to lay down?
Yeah, I think Tony D knew that from the beginning. This was all part of the plan of Tony D'Angelo. You cannot come in a ring against Tommaso Ciampa not expecting the level of abuse you're going to get. Let's face it, Tony D has executed everything he's tried in NXT for months now. Part of the War Games winning team back in December, but right now things are going the wrong way as we see that beautifully executed knee.
Saw it once, may see it one more time and again, right across the oh, wait a minute, Ciampa unloading.
This could be a short night for Tony D'Angelo.
Look, Ciampa's sick about hearing about the future. He's been listening about Tony D'Angelo and all the superstars for months. He's ready to let out some frustration here tonight. NXT Universe showing their love for Tommaso Ciampa. Look, I mean, at this stage, has D'Angelo picked the wrong guy to have messed with?
The NXT Universe certainly think he has. Hey, once a villain, always a villain.
And what is going through the mind of Tommaso Ciampa?
Listen, rumors in the locker room and on social media have been that this is Ciampa's last stand in NXT. Ciampa himself admits that he doesn't know his next move himself. If it is the case that this is his last stand here for NXT, I assure you he wants to go out on a high by taking down Tony D'Angelo. Once he's taken down this ring mat, which is not cooperating,
well, we've seen this play out of his playbook in the past. As right back into a nice takedown by D'Angelo. Give credit where credit is due. And look, D'Angelo does have a strong amateur background.
Yeah, the man's a hell of a mover in there. His background, of course, as you mentioned, is collegiate competition. Realized he wasn't going to make any money in that world. Transition effectively over here. AJ Galante clearly loving everything he's seeing as he watches on from ringside. These two met up over social media. Now they're in cahoots.
Look at the hockey fight breaking out as D'Angelo looked over for a moment at his paisan, and D'Angelo now could be looking to hook that big white whale, and a kick out by Tommaso Ciampa. There you see here ringside, and you wonder for Tony D'Angelo as he's looking around and he's talking a lot of trash, is he going to be able to back it up tonight? That's been the word amongst the NXT Universe. Can he back it up in the big spotlight against Tommaso Ciampa?
Well, he's doing exactly that right now. Very few people ever get the upper hand against Tommaso Ciampa, especially an athlete with as little relative experience as Tony D'Angelo here. This is why this guy has extreme pedigree here in NXT. While there's a lot of hype about him, why he is certainly the big future here on this brand.
NXT Universe trying to get behind the pulse of this brand. Tommaso Ciampa. D'Angelo just squeezing away. D'Angelo talking about becoming a made guy. You got to agree, if he's able to somehow pull out a victory tonight, it's going to be hard to argue.
100%. Listen, Tony D'Angelo spends his life as a street soldier before becoming a made man with the family. He said once he defeats Tommaso Ciampa here at Stand and Deliver, he is going to be head of the family on this brand, and he will be the Don of NXT. He wants to retire Tommaso Ciampa, take it out of Tommaso Ciampa's hands.
Ciampa continuing to fight back. Ciampa now able to put on the brakes, charges back in, and now Ciampa's starting to roll. This is what made Ciampa an NXT champion, an NXT tag team champion, one of the best to ever step foot in an NXT ring.
Yeah, tweak that leg perhaps in the process, but this is the marathon man of NXT. Cardio unsurpassed. The physique of Tommaso Ciampa, the greatest we've ever seen here. Shape of his life.
Ciampa flying through, and Ciampa now has gotten that second win. Take a look at one more time. I mean, you can see, you can feel the energy coming out of Tommaso Ciampa. Oh, and look at Ciampa. Evil intentions in the mind of Ciampa. Ciampa charging in, no one out. And now, D'Angelo trying to answer back in his own right.
Tony D answering some questions about durability here.
Cover. This could be an upset and a kick out by Ciampa.
You just got the sense as Tommaso Ciampa was beginning to get the wind in his sails. Tony D had to do something in the worst way for
D'Angelo trying to come back. Ciampa's sensing it. Trying to roll through again. Now Ciampa, the one that's the aggressor. Looking for the fairy tale ending to put an end to Tony D'Angelo. D'Angelo trying to block.
Too big, too strong, too fresh.
Able to counter. Ciampa. Looking for a, and D'Angelo again able to roll through, shoulders down, handful of tights, and a kick out.
Tony D'Angelo having that move scouted.
Whoa, and another near fall. D'Angelo back to his feet.
I'm Tony D. Who do you think you are? This is my ring.
I mean, now's not the time to be disrespectful.
That's what you get for trash talking Tommaso Ciampa.
Ciampa, a leader in the locker room, has always tried to clean up. Ciampa just unloading, always the one in the locker room, trying to make sure everything was right, trying to do what's good, trying to be a locker room leader. Echo ringing through Dallas here at Stand and Deliver. The American Airlines Center is wait, what's Ciampa thinking now?
Tony D'Angelo not in a good spot, clambering up those ropes, trying to cling on here. This is not going to end well.
What goes up? Oh, and D'Angelo sensing it. You got to give credit where credit is due right now to Tony D. He is in there for the fight of his life.
Stated his intent, wants his name up in the bright lights here, wants to be the Don of NXT.
Oh, got caught!
He might be out cold here.
And now D'Angelo is in deep waters with Tommaso Ciampa.
Tommaso Ciampa not looking too fresh either at this point. Both men dishing out and receiving beatings equally.
Take another look. Boom! Picture perfect precision by Ciampa.
All about timing, something he does better than anybody, something he has a historical track record of doing. And if this one's breaking down into a slugfest, who do you favor at this point?
Ciampa answering right back. Tony D is staying in this. But Ciampa, thinking about all those moments, all those nights, all those long drives, his wife, his daughter. And now it's D'Angelo answering back, swing and a miss. Ciampa, boom!
Clean the clock of Tony D. How is Tony D still stumbling around?
Oh! D'Angelo able to answer back and, wait a minute. No.
Back to his old tricks.
Come on!
The old trusty crowbar when in doubt.
Ciampa saw it coming. Referee didn't see the low blow. Referee.
Twisted fisherman.
Kick out. Ciampa still alive. There's still a pulse in the pulse of this brand.
That has put everybody away as we take another look at this brutal elbow shot to the jaw of Tony D. How he wasn't flat on his back, I don't know. Fortunately for Ciampa, ducking out of the way of the crowbar, but the low blow catching Ciampa behind the referee's back. Surely that had to be it.
Hey! Do your damn job! That was 3!
Tony D'Angelo yelling at the wrong guy here.
He just went and got the crowbar again. And now wait a minute, gets caught. Willow's bell. And Ciampa now looking to put the finishing touches on this chapter. Looking for his fairy tale ending. Boom! Ciampa into the cover. Hook of the leg. It's done.
No way.
Ciampa's in disbelief, and you just heard the NXT Universe, almost like the air came out, and now Ciampa locking in a submission. We've seen this in the past. Another tip of the cap. Ciampa trying to stretch, trying to make Tony D'Angelo tap. Will he tap?
Getting close to those ropes. How on earth Tony D'Angelo is even in this match, I don't know. He gets out of there, but the damage surely done. Tommaso Ciampa within touching distance of putting this away.
Ciampa so close. And right now, D'Angelo not gonna like what he sees. Ciampa looking for maybe that exclamation point on this matchup.
He set this up earlier on in the match. Tony D able to get away.
Whoa. Uh-oh.
Oh no! Ciampa falls on his own sword. There's nothing going on there in the eyes of Tommaso Ciampa. This is academic. If Tony D'Angelo can get it back in the ring, AJ Galante loves it. He knows his man is seconds away from a short victory here.
Tommaso Ciampa not moving. Tony D'Angelo picking up the scraps. Hey, Tony D'Angelo, not like this.
He's got all the time in the world. That's a beaten man at his feet.
It's over. Yes, sir. No!
D'Angelo into the cover. D'Angelo has become the Don of NXT.
The winner, Tony D'Angelo.
What a moment on today of all days at Stand and Deliver WrestleMania weekend for Tony D'Angelo to step up to a whole new level. Does this man now run NXT? Is he the Don? AJ Galante certainly agrees, loving what he's seeing. What a performance from Tony D'Angelo.
NXT Universe not showing any respect to Tony D'Angelo. Let's go back to some of the action in this matchup. This was the best opportunity. Boom! That Willow's belt connecting for Tommaso Ciampa.
Looked like Tony D'Angelo was doing his best to get disqualified at that point in the match, bringing that crowbar back into the ring. Tommaso Ciampa, milliseconds away from putting this to bed. That was the most impressive thing I saw all night from Tony D'Angelo. How he kicked out, I don't know.
This had to be the turning point. Exposed concrete. I mean, you heard the thud.
It's a crack. Give it to him. It's a crack.
Oh, and look who loved it. All smiles is the family, so to speak. And is that the finishing touches, not only on the match, but to the storied career of Tommaso Ciampa. As are we all now going to have to pay our respects to Tony D'Angelo starting this Tuesday on NXT.
That's right, baby.
That's right.
Some people don't like being a bad guy. I enjoy it.
I'm not playing a character, I am the character.
What do the voices tell you?
You don't make children cry.
What is wrong with him?
Sasha Banks does, though.
Do you find good guys to be interesting? I don't.
Well, if you were just watching Peacock Premium Plus, you just witnessed quite the emotional moment. Well, who knows what the future holds for Tommaso Ciampa, but we know what's in our future still to come later tonight. Will Dolph Ziggler continue to throw a wrench into this brand? We find out in our main event.
Oh, yes. And look at this. Chase University apparently in town recruiting for a Dallas chapter. The kids.
A Dallas chapter?
Yeah, the kids are certainly all right, aren't they? The future is bright for those young men and women because Chase U produces the best of the best.
A triple threat match scheduled for one fall is for the NXT Tag Team Championship. Introducing first, representing Diamond Mine, Julius and Brutus, the Creed Brothers.
It has been quite the rise for Julius and Brutus.
Say that again, one of the biggest success stories of NXT 2.0. They have been unstoppable here from day one. Strength, power, aggression, unique offense, you name it, they have it. They were my pick to win the men's Dusty Cup, and in truth, they won it with ease, and they are ready to fulfill their destiny tonight and win the NXT Tag Titles. And hats off, of course, to Malcolm Bivens, as we saw a few moments ago, paying homage to Cameron and the iconic photo. Bivens says he misses Harlem, New York. Told me if there was a chance to get this fit off, it was now. Dipset.
Next, Nash Carter, Wesley MSK.
We've talked about this stage for NXT Stand and Deliver. We've talked about the emotions for everyone on this brand. How about a story about MSK? They were among the WWE Universe at WrestleMania here in Dallas back in 2016. And tonight, just before WrestleMania Saturday, they can reclaim their gold.
Yes, they can. They were living the dream of the WWE Universe members turned into NXT superstars. They actually saw me get a stunner from Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania in Dallas 6 years ago. The question is, will the same fate befall Kevin Owens later today at WrestleMania Saturday? That remains to be seen, but MSK are here for one thing and one thing only. They want to reclaim their NXT Tag Team Championships that they lost back at Halloween Havoc.
Feeding off the energies, Carter and Lee. It's been quite the journey to get back to this moment.
And their opponents, they are the NXT Tag Team Champions, Marcel Bartel, Fabian Eichner, Imperium.
Get WrestleMania ready with the official WrestleMania app. Manage event tickets, pre-order merchandise, and so much more. Download from the App Store or Google Play Store today. We are focusing in now on the NXT Championships. NXT Tag Team Championships, of course, earlier tonight. We saw the NXT Women's Tag Team titles defended. Brand new champions. The kickoff tonight for the North American Championship. Brand new North American champion. Wait, are we about to see brand new NXT Tag Team champions?
Well, time will tell, but taking a look in the ring at these two specimens of European excellence. They look ready to step on stage at the Arnold Classic. Chiseled perfectionists, and let's face it, they want to win tonight. They have to be perfect because everything on the line here. Triple threats are a champion's worst nightmare, but I will say this, if anyone does perfect in NXT, it is the lads from Imperium.
Well, when it comes to Imperium, too, they can set the tone for Imperium tonight. Gunther's still the big matchup later on.
Oh, wow. And you know, the ring general, Gunther, demands excellence from the troops. Of course, taking on LA Knight later on in the show. Gunther expects.
He expects perfection, and it is a triple threat matchup. Champions not need to be pinned or submitted, not even factored in the decision to lose the gold. One member of each team will be legal, can only tag their own partner, as now Brutus obviously will be the strongest. Well, possibly. What about Fabian Eichner? I mean, there is so much in this matchup.
Yeah, some ridiculous athletes in there, Olympic caliber athletes from the Creeds. And of course, the unorthodox nature of MSK has to come into play.
And we saw MSK right at the start running around. They were excited. They're fueled with energy. They know how big of a moment this is for them in their careers. Their Shaman, Riddle, Randy Orton defend the Raw Tag Team titles under the same rules on WrestleMania Sunday. Can you be too emotional before a matchup like Nash and Carter?
You absolutely can, but it worked out well earlier on tonight for Cameron Grimes in the North American ladder match. But let's face it, sometimes if you're too emotional ahead of a match, it takes your focus off the in-ring attack and take your eye off the ball. Be over emotional here. You ain't gonna win.
Speaking of attacks, it's still the Creed brothers searching for who attacked them. Might be hard to focus if you're Julius and Brutus, but they really have to turn things around in this matchup as now Bartel in control of Nash Carter.
Talk about who attacked the Creed brothers several weeks ago on NXT. My suspicion is still with MSK, and I'm sure the Creed brothers would like nothing more than to punish them tonight, just in case it was there.
Well, if you're Imperium, you certainly picked up some much-needed momentum this past Tuesday as Aichner checks into the match.
Yes, indeed. Of course, Imperium beating the late put-together trio of MSK and LA Knight. Emerging victorious, getting some great momentum ahead of this matchup.
Aichner in control. And look at Aichner. The strength of Aichner on display. Tag was made, the quickness of MSK now on display. And look at up and over. Can you believe some of the things that Lee can do?
Well, I can believe some of the things that Fabian Aichner can do. Pound for pound, the strongest competitor in NXT.
What about Brutus Creed?
I'm saying pound for pound, Brutus Creed might be stronger, but he's also bigger than Fabian Aichner.
Julius checking into the matchup. Look, Malcolm Bivens was very confident about the Creed brothers on the NXT Stand and Deliver kickoff show.
So he should be. These two are absolutely brilliant. They look like they've got no faults. Even the inexperience factor here at NXT was swallowed up within weeks of their arrival. How do you compete with that?
Hey, Creed brothers have been champions in every sport and every level.
Yeah, they've got a packed trophy cabinet at home too, augmented, of course, by the 2022 Dusty Cup that they won several weeks ago. Should have had a tag championship opportunity several weeks ago too, but that got rudely taken away from them in that parking lot attack.
Well, speaking of the tag team title, oh, Bartel gets caught. And Brutus showcasing that strength, as is Julius on the outside.
Collegiate attempt that they're so well known for.
Whoa, what? Landed into a tag. Carter now. Oh no, might suffer the same fate again. Goes up, goes down, and Brutus is just knocking down, smashing down everything in his path.
Absolute Hulk smash in there at this point. That's what's so brilliant about the Creeds. They have the athleticism, they have the explosive movement, but they also have the raw power and can brawl with the best of them. There's no weakness.
Look at the gut wrench from Brutus, and you already know the Creed brothers have been in every extra moment they could have been in the dojo, putting in every extra second of work.
Well, that's the brilliant leadership of Malcolm Bivens, who we see on the outside there, flanked by Ivy Nile, another member of the Diamond Mine. He smells money with the Creeds, and so he should. He's all about those big money matches. Well, win those NXT Tag Championships tonight, you are going to be flush with money for a long time, Malcolm Bivens.
Look at the combination from MSK.
These two are a little out there, a little off the beaten path, but that is what makes them so dangerous, so hard to predict.
Down across the chest of Bartel into the cover. Shoulders are down. And just able to break things up at the last moment. Julius Creed again. Imperium does not need to be factored in the decision to lose the NXT titles, tag team titles here tonight. Malcolm Bivens starting to sweat a little bit on the outside.
Panic on the face, and this is why, as MSK came incredibly close to putting this one away.
Bartel! Look at no wasted motion, and Bartel, as fluid as they are here in NXT, setting his sights on Wes Lee. Bam!
Sour-faced German. Never had a happy day in his life.
Oh, and there's Aichner right back to his feet, and this is what Imperium does so well. able to divide and conquer.
Incredible chemistry from the duo. We've seen this before from them in stereo. Huge World Cup draw yesterday. England and USA front and
You
center.
always bring this back to soccer.
As were Germany. Fabian Eichner's Italy nowhere to be seen. So if the Azzurri want some pride back, it's all down.
Depleting uppercut from Bartel. And back to live action. Eichner now just showcasing that superhuman strength. Moves like a cruiserweight, hits like a heavyweight, and right now, bam, just planted Wes Lee.
Baseball back to the jaw.
Cover, titles on the line for Imperium to retain, and Carter able to save things literally for his team.
Yeah, no way Wes Lee was kicking out of that one. That was emergency time for MSK. As we take another look at that, it's just ridiculous. I don't care who you are hitting with that. They are going down, they are staying down unless they're saved by their tag partner, as was the case. Chops. Perhaps he's taking some training from Big Gunther. I'm sure we're going to see some of that later on tonight.
There again, that strength. Oh, that deep squat.
3 squats with Julius Creed, at least 270-pound Julius Creed.
Imperium is rolling, and look, even with no champion's advantage, most considered Imperium the favorite heading into this matchup.
You've got to see them as the favorites. Listen, 2-time NXT Tag Team Champions. Not only that, they have... Oh, no!
Well, we might have spoke a little bit too soon.
Torpedo headbutt effectively to the chest of his own tag partner there from Marcel Bartel. Listen, Imperium
wait a minute.
dominated 2 brands on 2 continents for the best part of 4 years, but that might end here.
Going around the globe is Wes Lee. MSK rocking, rolling right now.
Rocking and rolling to some irregular rhythms, but it is highly effective, and perhaps they can now put this one to bed as Fabian Eichner is down. Is he out?
Carter, able to connect. Lee made the tag. He is legal.
Whoa!
Cover! Count!
Just a millisecond away from regaining those NXT Tag Team Championships.
We've talked about the year-long journey for MSK to get back to this point. They are pouring out all the stops tonight.
Well, it's been a roller coaster 12 months from their debut in the Dusty Cup in 2021 to NXT Tag Champs, losing their mojo, finding the shaman in Raw superstar Riddle, and now they need to complete the journey back to the top.
Hey, Julius Creed doesn't go to the top often, and now it's the Creed brothers trying to do anything they can to have their first taste of gold here in NXT. MSK Imperium trying to work together?
Do your best to take any opponent down. A loose alliance at any moment. Oh no!
American Airlines Center showing love to NXT as all 3 of these teams are down. All 3 of these teams are going to have to find some way to get back to their feet to continue in this matchup.
This is where we really learn a lot about competitors. Fatigue makes cowards of us all as we take
I mean, wait, have you ever seen anything like this?
This was inadvertently, effectively. Imperium and MSK took each other out in the process.
Brutus?
Get down, Brutus. You're not built for this, big lad.
Brutus?
Oh, no. No!
Cannonball! Malcolm Bivens, all smiles. Cannonball for the Creed brothers. What else are they learning in the Diamond Dojo?
It wasn't exactly high art, was it? But it was certainly highly effective there for Brutus Creed.
And now could it be the Creed brothers? Making the tag, in comes Julius. Julius, Brutus. We talked about the rise of the Creed brothers. Oh! Julius into the cover. And no!
Great awareness there from Eichner, but dropped with a clubbing fist to the jaw.
Oh no! Julius just bounced off the steps.
Sickening thud there from Julius Creed.
Oh, and you see the worry on Bivens. You see the worry on Ivy Nile as well. Julius Creed may have just been wiped out of this matchup as now Brutus all by himself, and it's 2-on-1.
And this is exactly what Imperium do best. Once they sniff danger, once they sniff weakness, they are all over it like a leech.
Creed brothers may have just been wiped out of the match. And now Imperium focusing in on Carter, who is down.
Completely in the ascendancy here. They have a prone man available to them. Nash Carter, in the worst place possible, making his way out of there.
And now Lee quickly back into the ring. MSK, whoa! MSK has recaptured their titles.
Here are your winners and new NXT Tag Team Champions, MSK.
We talk about the journeys, we talk about the ups, we talk about the downs, the roller coaster of emotions that this night has brought all the superstars, men and women. For MSK, this has been a year-long journey, but how about some of the action?
This is an example of a man who should never go to the top rope, doing it anyway because it's WrestleMania weekend. Brutus Creed and Julius Creed certainly had the opportunity to put this one to bed, achieve their dreams. Didn't happen, and that's part of the reason why.
And look, Julius Creed was taken out. Imperium would not be done. They would continue to focus, isolate, and destroy and dissect the Creed brothers, which then would lead Imperium to come back into the ring. But look, Wesley had a different idea for Imperium. MSK was able to pull out the stops in the end, was able to complete that year-long journey, and once again, MSK crowns themselves. Let the party start in Dallas for MSK.
We were destined for this. These things remain with us.
One night, my dad sat me down to talk to me before one of his gigs. He said, "Kid, you gotta stop beating people up. It's easy to push people away, but you were put on this planet to bring people together." And I looked at him, my eyes lit up, and the rest was history.
Applause. Got so much swagger, I'm dripping in sauce. I feel like a star, and they love to talk, but you can come with if you're down for the cause. Cause I keep it real, yeah, I keep it fresh. Baby, I'm it, yeah, and I be what's next. Cause I'm breaking news, ain't giving exclusive. I'm making moves when I talk to the press.
That feeling of crushing a routine can only be compared to landing a knockout blow on my opponent in the middle of that ring. I know what I'm working with. I'm a whole lot of woman who's ready to do a whole lot of whooping. Not gonna hide it, not gonna deny it, and I'm not gonna apologize for it. You better watch out for this lion's roar.
Cameron Grimes, congratulations, the new NXT North American Champion. What did this win mean to you?
I'm sorry, McKenzie. I got in shock. 3 years. 3 years I've been working my ass off. Because this is where I wanted to be. This is where I was always going to be. My father told me that I would be a WWE superstar. Now I'm more than just a WWE superstar. I'm a WWE champion.
Here it is, Harlan, the famous Dealey Plaza. In November 1963, the world stopped as there was a tragedy in these streets. And on that day, the nation, the world, came together as one. But why is it only tragedy unites people when it should be triumph? There has to be a better way. I put that on my shoulders. I make it my responsibility. I will unite people. I can only hope you freely choose peace so we don't have to suffer loss or tragedy ever again. But that depends on all of you, now doesn't it?
We want to give a special thanks to 2K Baby featuring Marshmello for Like This, the official theme song of NXT Stand and Deliver off the album First Quarter, available now on Apple Music and on Spotify.
Yeah, I gotta be honest with you, Vic. I'm still a tad creeped out after witnessing Joe Gacy and Harland conspiring together on the grassy knoll. What an image.
I don't think you're the only one that's a little bit creeped out by, but hey, I want to go back to what happened earlier tonight on the NXT Stand and Deliver kickoff show. It was tag team action featuring Raquel Gonzalez, Dakota Kai, Toxic Attraction for the NXT Women's Tag Team titles. What a matchup this was. Dakota Kai was able to continue to fight and somehow was able to continue in this matchup because, well, she had a little bit of help.
Yeah, here's Wendy Chu, fresh from an attack back on Tuesday night, coming back for a little payback here against her attacker's Toxic Attraction. Raquel Gonzalez helping out, and then the former tag team champions rediscovering some of their old chemistry, putting this one to bed with Raquel Gonzalez's patented Chingona bomb.
NXT Universe will be on their feet for the opening of the night when we crown new NXT Women's Tag Team Champions. What a night it has been. New champions throughout this entire evening from the very start, including, again, congratulations to Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai. But how about what we have coming up in just a matter of moments? It's the toughest title defense for Mandy Rose in her reign as she defends against 3 other women who are looking to become the attraction in NXT.
Before the most stupendous WrestleMania in history, the WWE Universe has traveled to the American Airlines Center.
Really, just to see me.
They gon' see me when I come through, and they know what I'm really up to. Looking at a champ, it don't even matter what I do, cause it's true that I really can't lose.
You all need to remember who the hell I am. I'm the baddest bitch in the game.
You tune in every week to see me because NXT 2.0 is all about Mandy. The biggest show in NXT 2.0 history. My biggest title defense. The world will finally realize to never underestimate Mandy Rose. Kaylee Ray.
I'm a soldier, I'm here to deliver. Yeah, fighting for change, not fighting for silver. Why do you think you were better than me?
I was the longest reigning women's champion in nearly 60 years. What did that get me in NXT 2.0? Nothing. All I see Mandy Rose doing is putting other people down. And when I'm champion, I won't need help to win like Mandy does.
Well, I beat her before, and I'll beat her at Stand and Deliver. Io Shirai, I mean, she's always just so angry.
I don't like Mandy Rose. Never have, never will. 1 opponent, 2 opponent, 3 opponent. It doesn't matter. The result will be the same. Big arena, loud fans, chanting my name.
I get it. I'd be angry too if I was overshadowed by Mandy Rose. Cora Jade, you want to play games? You made a huge mistake.
Love, I tell them that it's my turn, knowing I'm the best, but that respect is what I might earn.
I know I'm the underdog, and Mandy sure as hell knows that I'm coming for her. Mandy doesn't care about anything but herself. See, the women before her carried that title with dignity, and it's my time now. When I held that NXT Women's Championship in my hands, it's like I was born for this. I will walk out of Stand and Deliver as the NXT Women's Champion, and a true generation of Jade will begin.
Jade.
It's just gonna make it all that much sweeter when I become the next NXT Women's Champion.
Rid NXT of Io Shirai once and for all.
Io Shirai will once again become the NXT Women's Champion.
And send Kaylee Ray back under where the bridge she came from.
Mandy Rose is the scum of this division, and she does not deserve the title.
I will cement my legacy of becoming the greatest NXT Women's Champion of all time.
Well, with the Devotion Skateboard Company at her side, will Cora Jade's childhood dream be reached, or will it become a nightmare?
Well, listen, here's the thing. Does the dream turn into a nightmare tonight? Things can change very, very quickly in this game. This is a fantastic entrance thanks to the addition of the Devotion Skateboard Company, Dallas's very own. But this might be as high as it gets this evening for young Cora Jade. I get it. Sometimes in this industry, you feel untouchable, you're riding a high, but the next minute, you are crushed under the boots of someone like Mandy Rose. Be very careful what you wish for, Cora Jade. Mandy Rose is out for blood tonight. Okay, let me start here. I don't need to be happen. Here's my issue. Okay.
Put a quarter in the ride.
To me, it is completely unfair that both Kaylee Ray and some other members of this matchup are even involved this evening. First of all, Cora Jade, she got her opportunity thanks to goading and attacking our champion Mandy Rose. That, to me, should never have been rewarded in the first place. But we had ourselves a singles match, which was fine. But then Io Shirai and Kaylee Ray together won the Dusty Cup, supposed to get themselves an opportunity at the women's tag team title, somehow parlaying that into an opportunity at Mandy Rose's women's title. And now we've got a fatal four-way match. What a disaster. Let's have some consistency from management and stop treating Mandy Rose so disgracefully.
Well, there is Io Shirai, the partner of Kaylee Ray, and all I heard from you was just a bunch of excuses that you've already written down for Mandy Rose.
No,
that's all you had was excuses.
No excuses whatsoever. I like the rules to be implemented correctly.
You do?
I don't like people. No, don't you start with me. Don't you start with me, Vic Joseph. There's a certain purity to this industry. I like the opinions of Imperium on that.
Is Io Shirai, though, all honesty, is she the favorite in the matchup?
A lot of people certainly think so. I've seen the whispers on social media. She's the most decorated champion at NXT. She's a former women's champion, former tag team champion, won the Dusty Cup too. But she's not the fave as far as I'm concerned. The champ is the fave.
The champion has no advantage in this matchup. There's no count out, there's no disqualification, but the
being Mandy Rose is an advantage in itself. Watch and learn. Do you recognize that podium, Vic Joseph? You sense a little, I don't know, bad news? Yeah, guess what? I had a personal request from Mandy Rose if I could loan her.
Stay 50 feet away from her, 500 feet away from her, 1,000 feet away from her.
Wasn't like that at all. We're very close. She asked me if I could loan her my scissor lift that I used to use for bad news, and guess what? I would say she looks resplendent on it.
Well,
and of course I accepted, because that's what close friends do. The rest, as they say, is history.
Well, as I was saying, it's not all good news. It's actually some bad news for Mandy Rose, because she does not need to be factored in the decision to lose her title here tonight in what already has been a great night, so to speak, for Toxic Attraction.
Well, it's been an absolute tragedy that she was forced into this position in the first place. But like an angel waltzing down the aisle, we know how pure Mandy Rose is. We know how dominant she has been as a champion. Of course, she's always been willing to take on all comers, and tonight she is going to cement her legacy here in NXT in the most difficult circumstances of all, against three tremendous opponents.
Well, take a look at the brand new NXT Women's Championship. Will it still be in the hands and around the waist of Mandy Rose come the end of the night?
The following contest is a fatal four-way match for the NXT Women's Championship. Introducing the challengers. First, Cora Jade. Next, Kaylee Ray. And Io Shirai. And their opponent, she is the NXT Women's Champion, Mandy Rose.
Will you sit down? You don't need to give Mandy Rose a sit down.
Show some respect, show some class for once in your life. You're supposed to respect champions. You know nothing about that, Vic.
These four women sit atop as the best NXT has, but I will ask you this. Mandy Rose wins. Let's play hypothetical. Should she be considered among the best NXT has ever produced?
What do you mean if she wins? First of all, yes, she's going to win. Hang on, I don't like the look of this at all. It's supposed to be every woman for herself.
Yeah, well, when you talk as much trash and as does much bad things as Mandy Rose had, you got a target on your back.
Yeah, well, hats off to Mandy Rose for fighting them off initially. That's it. Take it to the outside. Take a little breather. You mentioned that. Is Mandy going to be considered the best if she wins? As far as I'm concerned, she's already on a par with the likes of Rhea Ripley, Charlotte, Sasha Banks when you compare their reigns as NXT Women's Champions. The difference is none of the above had to transition from Raw or SmackDown to NXT. Mandy Rose had to reinvent her look, her attitude, her in-ring style. That's some attitude right there.
Now look at the attitude on Cora Jade. Whoa!
Herein lies the issue in a fatal four-way matchup. There are no one-on-ones. Always keep your eyes on all three opponents.
Here you see Kaylee Ray. Is she the wild card in this match, so to speak?
Well, wild is certainly the right word. When you bring up the scary Queen of Scots, she is as wild as they come. Crazy Scotswoman, prone to smashing up everything within her reach, including opponents if needs be. But here's the deal, the caliber of Kaylee Ray is completely unquestioned. I'm getting a little nervous here.
Yeah, I'm getting a little
too close for comfort, ladies. I need my own personal security.
And now, Kaylee Ray, again, the forever champion in NXT UK, one of only 4 women to hold the NXT UK Women's title, but now this certainly is a showdown in this matchup.
Here we go, the Dusty Cup champions been in each other's pockets for the past 6 weeks. We're about to witness how quickly friendships break down when gold is on the line.
Stand and Deliver still trending #1 throughout the United States. The backside looking for a new champion. Oh, just able to roll through. And again, these two women have learned so much about each other, the ins, the outs. What the other does so well is another counter, another near fall.
I'm still in shock that Io Shirai actually admitted that she liked another human being, and of all people, it was Kaylee Ray.
Oh, I wonder how Zoe Stark feels about that. I'm certain Zoe Stark somewhere looking on at this matchup.
Yeah, of course. I'm sure she has a little jealousy because Io Shirai never once admitted to liking Zoe Stark.
I think it was an unspoken bond between the two.
No, it's quite literally, I don't like you. That was the quote.
Right now, whoa! Looking for that fake kick, no one home, and Rose from the outside. Again, no countouts, no
nice from Mandy Rose. Pulling out something new from her arsenal. That's what I like about Mandy Rose. As technically proficient as she is, she can get down into a brawl in a heartbeat.
That's all you like about Mandy Rose.
I don't know what you mean.
I already beat you.
Oh, and yeah, Rose, again, talking so much trash. That is why there's a bullseye on her back. And look, how tough is it going to be for Mandy Rose to retain her title here tonight?
Well, it's going to be incredibly tough with a marauding Cora Jade swinging fists at your forehead. But once you get through that, of course, there is no champion's advantage here. Doesn't need to be pinned, doesn't need to be submitted to lose her women's championship here. That is the worst nightmare of any champion in this industry.
Well, Cora Jade talked about the dream to be champion. After she held the NXT Women's title for the first time, it has consumed her as off with a spine buster. Cover, count Kaylee Ray there quickly to break things up.
Yeah, smart from Kaylee Ray. She really is a veteran in this particular matchup. It's done it all over in Europe. Really gaining some momentum
now
here
back
in
in
NXT too.
Mandy Rose has taken out the Women's Dusty Cup champions and is focused now on Cora Jade.
Yeah, and for me, no disrespect, Cora Jade has to be the weak link in this matchup. She's the youngest, just 21 years old. Quite incredible. She's achieved what she has done in such a short career here. But this is the problem. I warned you about this.
Cora Jade has proven you can never count her out.
Cora Jade, all right, hats off to her. There's a lot to like about her. Of course, she's gutsy. She fears nobody, but her youth and inexperience will come to the fore at times. Of course, we saw her injured in the Women's War Games matchup, but somehow she came out of that and ended up winning the match for her team. We know she's good. It's the lack of experience that has always concerned me. Sometimes get emotional. And things are beginning to look a little bleak. Is this the nightmare you're talking about?
Cover, Rose retaining. Jade just able to get her right shoulder up.
Cora Jade starting to look like a mouse lost in a maze in that ring.
Well, Mandy Rose has done a nice job of keeping Kaylee Ray and Io Shirai at bay as she has kept this focus to what you said. You called Jade the weak link. Mandy Rose must have the same thought.
Well, this is, you know, Mandy Rose and I were very similar in our lines of thinking, like two peas in a pod, but surprisingly here, Cora Jade.
Cora Jade landed all on the line for her dream to become champion. Again, there's no countouts. And Kaylee Ray!
Oh, no! I warned you about this, Vic. I warned you about the inexperience factor. Here's when you're high, you take down Mandy Rose, you start celebrating too early.
Wait a minute, the
no.
genius of the sky!
Absolutely not. Pointing in our direction, too. Oh, no! Catching her knees on our desk, as well as the neck area of Kaylee Ray.
All four of these women willing to destroy themselves to destroy the other, all for the honor, the right, the privilege to call themselves champion.
Well, Io Shirai got herself up. She's walking with a limp. I'm not surprised catching those ankles or knees on our desk in the process of that high-risk moonsault. The damage clearly done, though, to Kaylee Ray.
And here's Io Shirai, who has stood toe-to-toe with the likes of Sasha Banks, was in the main event last year of night one of Stand and Deliver. Can she come through one more time in the clutch?
Yeah, the pedigree of Io Shirai completely unquestioned here. Perhaps the most dominant women's champion in the history of NXT.
Oh, roll through, double stop!
And you know she wants that championship back in the worst way. Main evented Stand and Deliver 2021 night one.
Oh! Fake kick connects. Being the best is what drives Io Shirai every time she steps foot in an NXT ring as now she has her tag team partner in her sights. Missile drop kick connects. Shirai now quickly into the cover. Hook of the leg, and there's Mandy Rose.
Brilliant.
Oh, trying to snake a victory like the weasel.
She's trying to stop her opponent winning the match.
She's trying to steal the win. Cover, count. Kaylee Ray kicks out.
By any means necessary, Vic Joseph. That is a sign of a smart competitor.
Submission!
Oh no.
Kaylee Ray trying to lock in. I don't know if Kaylee Ray fully has a submission locked in. Cora Jade though, from behind is Io Shirai. Cover, kick out is Mandy Rose gonna tap out. Is Mandy Rose gonna tap out? And on this side, Io Shirai looking for the Texas Cloverleaf.
Oh no.
Cinched in real deep.
Who's gonna tap first?
Is Mandy Rose gonna tap? Is Cora Jade gonna tap?
This is high risk for both Kaylee Ray and Io Shirai.
Shirai looking at Kaylee Ray for a moment. Kaylee Ray realizing she's cinching, she's squeezing. Mandy Rose is fading, and Cora Jade able to kick free.
How much damage has been done to our women's champion, Mandy Rose, clutching at her throat, damaged thorax. She might not be able to breathe properly.
This is all about the NXT Women's Championship here at Stand and Deliver in Dallas, WrestleMania Saturday, and it's Io Shirai who's back in control. Well, for just a moment, a split moment, is now Kaylee Ray turning things around.
She's so good, but then again, perhaps Mandy Rose is just a shade better, and now she's back where she wants to be.
Right back in there comes Cora Jade, and Jade finally getting some offense, and can Cora Jade now string together some momentum? Can she build momentum in this matchup? Are we about to witness the start of the reign of Cora Jade?
Cora Jade with some of that fluke momentum we've seen from her in the past.
Did you say fluke?
I'm saying fluke momentum. She was down, she was out, somehow back in it, but is the damage done to that left pin of Cora Jade?
Jade trying to block out the pain, and adrenaline will make you do some crazy things. And can Cora Jade be closing in on her first reign as NXT Women's Champion?
Mandy Rose does not want to lose that championship to anyone, but it would sting even worse if it was to Cora Jade of all people.
Cora Jade right back in. Look, Jade, we talk about building momentum in this matchup. Jade has done just that. She has weathered the early storm of all three superstars. Rose trying to answer back, but Jade, one step ahead of Kaylee Ray. Wait a minute, no. Oh! Pulling out all the stops. Shirai back to her feet. Oh, right to the small of the back. You see the pain on the face of Jade. And now, there's only two standing.
Genius of the Sky tasting victory.
Perfect drop kick.
Connection. Mandy Rose in complete disarray.
And it's Shirai complete control. Shirai feeling the energy. Feeling the love from the NXT Universe here in Dallas. Oh,
what a bridge!
Cover, count, kick out by Rose.
And you hear Io Shirai gasping for oxygen as she pulled that off. If that didn't put Mandy Rose away, I don't know what will.
You take another look. This is, unthinkable, unbelievable.
Canadian Destroyer on the ring apron of all things. I think that is Kaylee Ray down and out for this matchup.
NXT Universe has been fired up since the start. Whoa, what is Mandy? We don't see Mandy Rose go to the top.
Yeah, you got to pull out some dog. Shote uppercut from Io Shirai. Mandy Rose may have made a grave error here.
Well, Shirai, on the other hand, is at home when she's high above the ring. What's on the mind of the Genius of the Sky?
Top rope, I'm backing Io Shirai every single time against anybody, as much as I hate to admit it.
Oh! Shirai into the cover. Do we have a new champion? Cora Jade out of nowhere.
2.99 seconds. But fortunately for everybody in this match, with the exception of the Genius of the Sky, Cora Jade once again coming out of nowhere to break that pin up.
NXT Stand and Deliver on WrestleMania Saturday. this a fatal four-way for the NXT Women's Championship. Mandy Rose just went for a ride. Io Shirai, as you mentioned, 2.99 because of Cora Jade. And Cora Jade right now, we talk about her inexperience. Well, she looked wise behind her years in that moment.
Raining a storm down upon the women's champion, Mandy Rose. For how much longer will we be able to say that?
Whoa, 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 looking for some sliced bread. Jade now. Keep moving. Connects. Jade for the cover. New champion. New champion. No.
Thank you, Kaylee Ray. Wow, my heart just missed a beat. How must Mandy Rose be feeling right now? Cora
Mandy
Jade.
Rose, how's Kaylee Ray even moving?
Well, Cora Jade grew up idolizing the likes of Sasha, Bayley, and Charlotte. They carried the NXT Championship with dignity.
Kaylee Ray, is she about to become the forever champion in NXT?
Refusing to make that pin, wanting to make no mistakes here.
Oh, Shirai!
What a mistake she made!
Crash and burn for Kaylee Ray. Shirai now. Trying to find a new gear. Jade's not moving. Moonsault connects. And Io, no, Mandy Rose! Rose into the cover.
Get in!
Here is your winner, and still the NXT Women's Champion, Mandy Rose!
Never in doubt. Still, let's hear that again. Still your NXT Women's Champion after a sublime performance. There are not enough superlatives in the dictionary to describe how good Mandy Rose was tonight.
Well, the closing moments of this matchup, Kaylee Ray just executed the KLR bomb. It was Io Shirai, presence of mind, wanting to become champion, once again hit a picture-perfect moonsault on Cora Jade. That split-second hesitation opened the door for Mandy Rose to retain the NXT Women's Championship.
Well, the goal was to destroy Toxic Attraction by removing that championship. Thankfully, they failed.
Mandy Rose is still the attraction in NXT.
Yes, she is.
WrestleMania match of all time. Winner take all. Championship unification. Lesnar Reigns, WrestleMania Sunday.
Persia wants to challenge us to a showdown. She has no idea who she's messing with. We are gonna look so hot at Stand and Deliver. Dexy, we're gonna make you the sexiest cowboy in Texas. You ready? Ooh, Dexter. Hope you're not thinking about using this on me tonight. Yeehaw.
Persia, we've been here for an hour already.
Oh, babe, an hour is never usually a problem for you. Hey, try this. Oh, that is 10 gallons of man right there. Wow, babe, these boots are amazing. We need to get you a pair. What about these ones? What are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
What am I doing here?
I'm here to make my boyfriend the sexiest cowboy in Dallas.
My sexy Dex is gonna be the sexiest cowboy in Dallas.
No, my sexy Duke is gonna be the sexiest cowboy in Dallas.
Sexy Duke doesn't have the same ring to it.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't. It's on. You're gonna look way better than Dookie Dukester.
Babe, these ones are too small. I'll get you another size.
Size 16. No, size 16.
Well, it's the moment we've all been waiting for. Who will be revealed as the hottest couple voted on by the WWE Universe? Will it be Index? Or will it be Dusha?
Wait 1 second. You can continue.
Okay, drum roll, please. The winner is Index.
You need to count them again. There's no way they beat us.
Yeah, there's no way you beat us.
We are obviously.
No, I don't buy that for a second. There's no way that you beat us. There's no way that you're better than us.
Hey,
Dexy,
hey!
Dexy,
Stop,
don't
dude,
worry
stop.
about it.
Stop. Hey, stop. Anyways, we're hotter than you, so it doesn't even matter.
Are you kidding?
It doesn't even matter. We are obviously hotter than you.
The fixed was in there. I smell collusion.
Now, let's move on because it has been quite the weekend for Braun Breaker, and he's putting in the final few moments of preparation before he looks to possibly reclaim the NXT Championship.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, representing Imperium, Gunther.
Well, it's already been a lackluster night, some would say, for Imperium, having lost the NXT Tag Team Championships tonight. Gunther will try to right some wrongs here in just a matter of moments. NXT Stand and Deliver is brought to you by Applebee's Irresistibles, featuring the brand new broccoli cheddar mac and cheese bowl along with your other favorites, starting at just $8.99. And back to, as I was saying, Gunther cannot be in a very good mood at this moment.
Yeah, he's rarely in any form of passable mood, but Imperium losing their tag team championships earlier on in the show. This does not bode well for this man.
And his opponent, LA Knight.
Look, take a look around. Take a look at the two superstars. There's no doubt there's contrasting styles and, I mean, even different beliefs.
Listen, I'll tell you this, LA Knight can get it done in the ring every single time, but more than that, he likes to have a little fun while he's doing it, likes to clown people, likes to enjoy the good life. Gunther, on the other hand, he views NXT, he views this industry as a pure sport, abhors the showbiz ways of LA Knight, thinks LA Knight is an embarrassment to this industry, and basically wants to chop him down to size tonight.
Well, you've been in the corner of LA Knight since day one.
You're right, I've backed
since
LA
day
Knight
one.
from his beginning in NXT. Took you a long time to get on board, Vic Joseph. You should start listening to me. LA Knight has got everything, and he demands the spotlight. Gunther, though, whoa, he is the Dark Destroyer. I admire him from afar, a little scared of him. Don't want to upset him and get my chest caved in.
You can already hear both superstars barking at one another. I mean, it was hard to separate these two this past Tuesday, if you remember.
Oh, what a rough evening it was. Of course, six-man tag action this past Tuesday on NXT. Ended up with these two taking each other out, brawling all the way to the parking lot, not to be seen again. Well, some point, that brawl got paused and we're picking up right where we left off.
Gunther now showing his size.
That was just a light one. We'll taste it.
Oh, it certainly woke up LA Knight. And it's Knight now throwing right hands, backing up Gunther. And now look at Knight.
Let's go, come on. Let's go out. 1, 2, 3.
Stopping the big, oh, and LA Knight was getting ready to charge right back in, hit the brakes. But look at Knight now, boom!
Smart move from the ring general, taking a little breather.
It wasn't long ago, Knight was an eyelash away from becoming a champion here in NXT. And look, what got underneath Knight's skin more than anything else, Gunther's saying, LA Knight's not championship material.
Yeah, and I will say this very quietly because Gunther is
Spine first goes Knight.
Gunther is not too far away from us. For me, I could not disagree more with Gunther. Here's the deal. LA Knight has proved his title caliber time and time again. What Gunther means, I think, is that he doesn't believe a champion should be as showbiz, should be as flashy as LA Knight, because you cannot question the in-ring ability of the megastar.
Global audience right now watching NXT Stand and Deliver here on WrestleMania Saturday. And both these superstars will have their eyes very closely on the NXT Championship match still to come.
Oh my word, what a main event we have in store for everyone today. But right now, we certainly still have our hands full with two of the best.
Into a cover. Might kick it out. Gunther is in complete control. Here's why. Game-changing power, and now look at what Gunther is doing. Bending back that spine of LA Knight.
Like a polar bear beating up a seal at this point. This is where Gunther's at his best. Once he's got a smidge of control in the matchup, it is so hard to get out from underneath him. He knows what his strengths are, technically astute, but he is a bear of a man.
Oh! That's every blow from Gunther.
There's no pull shots from the guy.
We've already talked about it, but Gunther cannot be very happy right now. He's got to be in a nasty mindset.
I've never seen Gunther happy. When have you seen him smile? I don't think his facial muscles are capable of pulling off a smile.
Oh, continuing to focus on the lower back of LA Knight. Look, Gunther, mindset is simple, not just for him, but also for Imperium. Purify this sport. The mat is sacred. Silliness does not belong in NXT or WWE.
Use the inside of those ropes as hallowed canvas, and he just tasted that canvas. This is where LA Knight has to get something rolling, but no matter what you do in the ring with Gunther, you're only seconds away from getting cut down once again.
Gunther just shut the door quickly, and now again continuing to put his focus on the lower back, trying to turn Knight over for a Boston Crab, and now just relentless is Gunther.
All the weight of the Austrian Oak slamming down on the lower back, contorting that spine the opposite way that it's supposed to go.
Look at LA Knight trying to power through, trying to persevere, but it's Gunther. A lot of weight on the lower back of LA Knight.
Well, LA Knight has zero quit in him. Gunther perhaps realizing that. Beautiful technician, never been in doubt, has that European excellence that we all love so much.
What do you say? You give up?
There's no quit in LA Knight. You can hear the official. LA Knight is not going to quit. LA Knight is not going to say those words. He's certainly not going to do it to the ring general. And Knight back to his feet.
The guy's a thoroughbred, but what can you do in the face of this level of overwhelming offense? LA Knight is getting mauled right now.
I've never seen LA Knight just drop to his knees this quickly. And Gunther has come in with a game plan now in this matchup and is systematically dissecting LA Knight.
Listen, LA Knight talked some trash in the build-up to this matchup. Said he was going to slap the blockhead off Gunther's dad bod. Not sure I would speak to Gunther in that way, but finally LA Knight might have a little taste of momentum here.
Oh, if he did, it's gone.
What can you do? It's overwhelming. It's like fighting an army.
And Gunther showcasing strength. LA Knight now, no way. Oh, able to block out the pain from his lower back to hoist up Gunther.
Well, it's a small window. We've seen several of them, and every single time Gunther has smashed that small window. And that's one way of doing it. Nobody has ever found the answer to Gunther's bare paws. They are rib cracking.
Take a look right now. Take a look at LA Knight. The way he's breathing just to get back to his feet.
Still holding that lower back too. So much damage incurred thus far. You think of the extreme athleticism of LA Knight that he's known for. How much of that is still present in that body?
Well, whatever's left, it is LA Knight now trying to empty the gas tank. Knight right back on top of Gunther. One after another for LA Knight. Well, Megastar getting his cardio in.
Well, part of that was punishing Gunther. Part of that was refusing to let Gunther get back on his feet, because we've seen time and time again what happens when the big man gets up.
Well, is now this the moment? Is this it for LA Knight? Trying to hoist up Gunther with the lower back.
Lower back gave in, but what a nice technical move there from Gunther, immediately blocking it, reversing the fortunes of LA Knight. Still fight in the Megastar, however.
Whoa!
There it is.
Huge slam. With an elbow.
Well, that's exactly what Gunther doesn't like, and he certainly doesn't like his position in this match, because finally LA Knight has the ring general rocking and rolling here.
LA Knight has been in for a fight since the beginning, but as we mentioned, Knight has been able to weather the storm up front, and whatever LA Knight is doing right now to block out the pain, to feed off the adrenaline, to feed off the NXT universe here in Dallas.
There is the game changer. Anytime, any place, Gunther can pull out that chop.
No way! LA Knight into the cover. Massive hook of the leg, and Gunther able to kick out again.
Wow. LA Knight doing what he does best, showing the world how much he deserves the spotlight, much to the chagrin of Gunther. Following it up with that extreme athleticism, that is a huge man to be leaping up there, pulling off the superplex and becoming within a whisker of putting away the leader of Imperium.
LA Knight had a lot of words for Gunther when they were face to face. Never one to be, looking for
PFT.
Couldn't catch it, but just caught Gunther. And now it's Knight trying to fight back, trying to chop down Gunther. Gunther now unleashing.
Oh no, LA Knight clearly came into this one with a game plan of avoiding those chops whenever possible. Sleeper attempt now.
And we've seen Gunther execute this in the past. Gunther now trying to wear down, leaning all of his weight, all of his mass onto the back of Knight, and Knight is fading.
Just cutting off the blood supply, the oxygen supply to the brain. There's nothing you can do. When you're out, you are out. The referee will throw this one.
Might be an afternoon nap for LA Knight. No. Whoa!
Superhuman, yes!
That's got to be it. Knight into the cover. What a mega fail! And again, Gunther just able to kick out. But I again question, you can talk to him much more than I have. Where is LA Knight getting this strength from, this desire, this passion?
The man is just a ridiculous athlete. A lot gets thrown at him for being such a great entertainer. Never take your eyes off him in that ring. The man is a pure thoroughbred.
And one more time, looking to go high risk.
But too long, it's the damage to the lower back incurred earlier in the matchup. Gunther, as much as anybody else, strategizes with the best of them. And there's no answer to something like that.
What a vicious chop. Followed by another.
No defense. No! Referee taking a very close look at LA Knight. He might be unconscious.
Gunther! The rage boiling out from the leader of Imperium, who now plants LA Knight. Message sent from the ring general.
Here is your winner, Gunther.
We just witnessed a war between LA Knight and the ring general, Gunther. But absolute destruction from the big Austrian. That's what he's known for. That was his ticket to success today at Stand and Deliver.
Take nothing away from LA Knight, who brought his A game here to stand and deliver. But the one standing tall is Gunther. And just the clubbing blows from Gunther, unimaginable.
Just sickening there, and again with this leaping maneuver, attacking that lower back. that was attacked earlier in the match. There was no way LA Knight could do anything at this point. I'll be surprised if he's feeling his legs, and I'll be surprised he's feeling anything else after that powerbomb.
Gunther righting the wrongs from earlier tonight when it comes to Imperium, and he is the one who is standing tall here tonight in Dallas.
The action on Peacock isn't just in the ring, it's in the office. It's from John Cena to John Dutton, Ronda to Ronaldo, and from McIntyre to
McGruber.
Who let the dog out? Because from Bel-Air to Bel-Air, Peacock's got all the stars and superstars. There's so much to love.
It's the biggest match of Braun Breaker's life as Dolph Ziggler looks to continue to throw a wrench into NXT. Who is going to walk out of Dallas NXT champion?
WrestleMania weekend is the biggest weekend of the year, and I promise Dolph Ziggler will not leave Dallas, Texas with the NXT championship.
That's what you thought at Roadblock.
You think you got WrestleMania weekend all figured out?
What the hell? Did we just witness?
Good old DZ screws it up for everybody.
Now that there's a real champ.
Yeah, this is what I'm made of. This is for the throne and the kingdom.
My first run as the NXT champion was about proving to everyone and to myself that I can be the guy.
How could you not be blown away by what this man has done?
It's time for me to carry the weight of NXT in my back.
I know what everyone thinks. Breaker lost the title, so now the kid's gonna have his big moment and stand and deliver and get the big win. But when his music hits, no one really knows who he is.
Kid Breaker!
I'm the king.
You will never be at my level!
I don't give a damn what he thinks of me. This place means too much to me to let Dolph Ziggler just walk around with my championship.
The second I walked through that door, I was the biggest damn star in this business and this building.
I'm gonna smash his ass at NXT Stand and Deliver.
And at Stand and Deliver, I leave your
two-time
NXT champion.
Take back the brain for everyone out there who chants NXT.
How do you make Braun Breaker more dangerous? Give the man a chainsaw.
We're about to get a Texas Chainsaw Massacre here.
Breakker hopes to cut through Dolph Ziggler tonight to reclaim his NXT title. Wade, it was Braun Breakker who said this is the biggest match of his life.
Wow, that was quite the way to make an entrance for the young former NXT champion, but you're right, this is the biggest stage we have seen in NXT in over 2 years. There's a global audience of millions. We know his family is watching very, very closely. Talk about pressure, because it is all on the shoulders of the young pop Bron Breakker. Time for talking is over. It is time to deliver.
What an afternoon it has been here at NXT Stand and Deliver. What a night it will be. WrestleMania Saturday. And Bron Breakker looking to have perhaps his first WrestleMania type moment here in Dallas. But when we talk about WrestleMania weekend, it was the NXT champion who said he wants to steal not just the show, the entire weekend of WrestleMania.
Yeah, of course he does. Nothing would epitomize Dolph Ziggler more than doing exactly that, and it would not surprise me for 1 second if he pulled it off. Listen, I've backed Dolph Ziggler so many times. Some of my greatest matches in my career were with Dolph Ziggler. Didn't win too many of them, if I'm honest. But he's all about boasting. He's all about showing off. He believes he is a level above NXT and wants to prove it tonight in the main event of Stand and Deliver. Of course, he wants to steal the entire weekend. He wants this to be the match that everybody in the NXT and WWE universe remembers about Dallas.
Ziggler, of course, not coming alone. Robert Roode by his side. The Dirty Dogs have shocked the world since their arrival in NXT from Monday Night Raw.
And how instrumental has Robert Roode been in assisting Dolph Ziggler in his ascent to becoming NXT champion? He may be pivotal tonight.
The following contest, scheduled for one fall, is for the NXT Championship. Introducing first the challenger, Bron Breakker. His opponent, accompanied by Robert Roode, he is the NXT Champion, Dolph Ziggler.
Cheap shot from Ziggler there.
Oh, mind games from Ziggler.
That's smart from the veteran, trying to fire the young rookie up. It's exactly how he got to the NXT title.
When we talk about the emotions of superstars like Bron Breakker, how about Breakker's mindset? Just saw his uncle and his dad go into the WWE Hall of Fame just 12 hours ago.
Bron Breakker is a hothead. That was brilliant strategy from Dolph Ziggler. You've got to ride out this storm, but you're right, it was a hugely emotional evening for the Bron Breakker family last night. Saw his father, Rick Steiner, his uncle, Scott Steiner, finally inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. But let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. Listen, he was up late last night. Emotional evening, burning that energy. Glorious night for the family, but the worst possible timing for Bron ahead of the biggest night of his career.
Well, Breakker now trying to harness all those emotions and funnel them into this matchup. Nice takedown, and you see the amateur background coming in quickly of Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, smart from Dolph, just about holding on there as he was coming crashing down head first to the mat, managed to turn it into a roll.
And that goes back to Dolph Ziggler being a veteran of the game, knows the ins, knows the outs of just about every situation that you can be in, and again staying one step ahead of the challenger.
He has played Bron Breakker like a fiddle thus far.
Whoa!
This rivalry has gone on.
Gotcha! Oh, got him!
No way you can play that kind of power, though. listen, this has been a day of change here in NXT, with the exception of the NXT Women's Champion Mandy Rose. All titles have changed hands. We take another look at Raw Power of Braun Breaker, real game changer. What will be the future for the NXT Championship?
And now Breaker is coming out of the gates, and now maybe he's able to use that emotion to his advantage. And look, I'll ask you this, as Breaker first cover of the matchup, hook of the leg, Ziggler able to kick out. Who has more pressure on their shoulders? Is it the champion or is it the challenger?
For me, it's got to be Braun Breaker. He is supposed to be the new face of 2.0. He's been billed as that for months ago. Wow! For reasons like we just witnessed in the ring right there. But right now, he's in front of the global audience. Can he get that job done?
Oh, Breaker right now is in control of this matchup. Ziggler almost seems out on his feet, and another belly-to-belly suplex, overhead style. And Breaker, at least in the moment right now, is calm, cool, and collected.
Yeah, he had that brief flurry, that brief powder keg reaction with the cheap shot from Dolph earlier in the matchup. Seems to have regrouped, seems to have his strategy.
Breaker said we're done. Breaker could be looking to make short work of Dolph Ziggler. And the second. Come on! The official again, it was Roode who assisted Ziggler winning the title, if you remember, in a triple threat match.
Robert Roode has been involved every step of the way. He's now getting charged down by a highly agitated Braun Breaker. Braun was ready to put this one to bed very early. It would have been a miracle you put away Dolph Ziggler that quickly.
Whoa. But now it is one-on-one, and Breaker is still in control on another suplex.
This is all going the way of the former champ Braun Breaker. Dolph Ziggler's game plan has to be in disarray at this point. The slap at the start didn't throw Braun.
Yeah, so
Robert Roode's now out of here.
Might not have been that wise to what your point was of Dolph Ziggler to slap Braun Breaker.
Well, let's face it, that is how the veteran got into this position of being champion. But that's what being a vet gives you. It gives you multiple strategies. It gives you a Rolodex of options when you most need them. If you need to go low, do exactly that, because I don't know how else you take the momentum and the steam out of this powerhouse Braun Breaker.
I think we all knew what was on the mind of Braun Breaker as Dolph Ziggler now back to his feet, back in control, and looking to execute a neck breaker with a little extra authority. And now Ziggler into the cover to retain his title, and Breaker able to kick out at 2. Look, this is the bottom line about Dolph Ziggler in his current, run he says that he is in. He relishes in breaking dreams, breaking spirits, and here he was looking to break his opponent.
Yeah, came very close to it as well, and he's all over young Braun now, capitalizing. You're right. Dolph Ziggler mentioned in the build-up to this match, I do not plan on being a 3-week transitional champion. I'm here to bring eyeballs to NXT, and he has certainly done that. Listen, it is supposed to be poetic that young Braun regains this championship on the biggest of stages at Stand and Deliver. Personally, I've never been a fan of poetry. I prefer reality, and the reality is a distinguished veteran like Dolph Ziggler rarely loses to a relative rookie. Someone like a Braun Breaker.
Oh, right now going to the body was Breaker, and Ziggler just chopping down, and another neck breaker, and it seems that Ziggler now is focused in on a part of the challenger. Into another cover, hook of the leg, the inside leg, and Breaker again able to kick out. And we've talked about Braun Breaker for several weeks, about the moments, about getting into deep water, about the lights being bright. We do know this moment won't be too big for our NXT champion.
Of course not. Listen, Dolph Ziggler said
another cover form across the face, and another kick out.
I'll give you a quote. This is my 18th WrestleMania weekend. That's Dolph. This is Braun Breaker's first WrestleMania weekend. I can talk about my own first taste of WrestleMania. I was completely overawed. It was way bigger than anything I'd ever experienced in my life. It continues to overawe me, but when it's 18 years versus 1 year, Braun is going to be wide-eyed, potentially overawed by this.
Can't even open his eyes right now. You saw his face starting to change color as Ziggler trying to continue to wear down Breaker. Breaker continuing to fight. Ziggler now just again focused on the upper body and right back in.
I have never seen such agony painted on the face of Bron Breakker. At one point in his NXT career, he looked completely impervious to pain. Very different story now, though there's still fight in his belly.
Ziggler walked into WrestleMania week on top of NXT. He wants to keep it that way, and another awkward landing for Bron Breakker. And look, when it comes to Ziggler, like him or not, he certainly looks rejuvenated.
Listen, Dolph Ziggler called this the genesis to the second half of his career. What a first half of his career he has had. He's done it all. The one thing he hadn't done, of course, until 3 weeks ago, was become NXT champion. Now here he is, main eventing the biggest show of the year. Listen, we all get jaded at times. I've been there myself. I had to walk away from this industry for a while. If Dolph was ever jaded, he's certainly got the bit back between his teeth now.
And you got to wonder for Bron Breakker, everything he has already been through. This is the biggest event for him. He saw his family get inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame just yesterday. Now he is in the main event of NXT Stand and Deliver WrestleMania weekend. Breakker's got to find some way to create some separation and rise to the occasion.
Dolph Ziggler once again knows exactly how to control Breakker. Dolph is just enjoying himself in there now as he's athletically maneuvering himself around the prone
enjoying
body.
himself. What, you think he's just toying with Breakker?
Look at his
It's
face.
the main event.
You know what? If he defeats, he said he was going to throw a spanner in the works of NXT Stand and Deliver. He's done that, and if he pulls off a victory now, despite the desire of the NXT universe, it's just another moment in the private cosmic gag reel of Dolph Ziggler.
And for Breakker, again, the heart of a champion. Bron Breakker, who is fueled by this brand, is fueled by being champion, said he needs to be champion. He needs to get back to the top. He wants to be the one to represent this brand moving into the future.
Yeah, well, he's not just fighting for the championship right now. He's fighting for survival. He's fighting for his life because it is one-way traffic. Bron Breakker is breathing very heavily in there right now.
Well, taking a little bit too much time to show off was the champion, and now Breakker with maybe a second or his third win.
Needed this in the worst way, did Bron
Go for the
Breakker.
ride.
Explosive technique once again.
Breakker's starting to turn things around, and you can start to almost see the confidence growing in the challenger with every step, with every move, with every suplex, with every goal! Maneuver into the cover for the title, hook of the leg, and Ziggler just able to get the left shoulder up.
Just when Bron starts getting that momentum, immediately back to that neck, registering some pain. We can see it with our own eyes here. He is hurting. He's hurting bad. Still capable of pulling off punishing maneuvers like that. Not enough to put away Zigman, though.
NXT Universe starting to get fired up. This is all about the NXT Championship. And for Bron Breakker. Breakker again, we saw this earlier in the matchup. This time will it pay off?
Freak athleticism if he can pull this off. This is highly dangerous, however, especially with a damaged neck.
Whoa! He got all of it, did Breakker, into the cover for the title, and no! But now for Bron Breakker, he realizes he's starting to pull out everything in his arsenal. He's got to stay focused on the matchup. He's got to stay focused in the moment.
And here's part of the problem. Bron Breakker's had, what, 30, 35 matches at this point in his career. One of the issues is when you're young, you simply don't have many other moves to fall back on. If plan A doesn't work, you don't tend to have a plan B.
Oh, he's got Ziggler in his sights. Champion in trouble. Challenger charging in. He got caught.
Completely suckered in by Ziggler. Didn't
Just
work,
looked like
however.
he angered the challenger. Boom!
Oh, there it
What a
is.
spear! Breakker into the cover. It's over. No, come on! Ziggler shocked, and then the awe of Bron Breakker. And I looked around, NXT Universe thought in this moment.
Of course they did. Nobody has ever kicked out of that. It has been one result every time Bron Breakker has connected with that. And here's going back to my previous point. What do you do when your heaviest of heavy artillery fails? Where are your options?
Oh, and all the options are out for Dolph Ziggler. Breakker. Ooh, no. Oh.
How is Dolph still moving?
Well, you got to wonder the neck also of Bron Breakker after hitting that the middle rope, getting right back in, and oh, got caught. Might not have got all of it, might have gotten enough of it though. Into the covers, the champion, the challenger continues to fight.
Yeah, continues to fight, but only by a millionth of a second there. The tank is empty on Bron. Knee to the jaw once again. Dolph Ziggler having so much success with that move in this matchup. You know, Bron Breakker a lot heavier than Dolph Ziggler. The factor in the cardiovascular health of Dolph, it has to be an issue for Bron Breakker right now. He is sucking on wind.
And now how the tide is turned, because it is Ziggler focusing in on Breakker. It is Ziggler with the challenger in his sights. Looking for, was looking for the super kick. Breakker counters, Breakker right back in again.
No mistakes this time from Bron Breakker.
Fury, fire in the eyes. And Breakker now hoisting up Ziggler. Boom! Over! Breakker into the cover. What? Come on!
He's back!
Root again! He was thrown out of here!
Is this a disqualification? It's the last thing Bron Breakker would want.
Breakker in absolute disbelief. I think Root said take a walk. There's nowhere to run. There's nowhere to hide. Breakker is focused on one man. That is Dolph Ziggler. Breakker is focused on recapturing what is his.
Well, hats off to the referee not throwing this one out in a disqualification. What a disastrous ending that would have been for the NXT Universe, and especially Bron Breakker using his discretion there.
Well, Breakker has seen this movie one too many times. He made a promise to everyone in the NXT Universe. He promised in Dallas, in this main event spotlight, when the lights were the brightest, he would recapture the NXT title. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Famous, sir! Ziggler! Zigzag! Cover! Breakker continues to fight!
So the shock of all in attendance and everyone watching around the world. How on earth has Bron Breakker got the will to keep going? That had to be it, but no.
I mean, just take a look. The high-octane offense from both these superstars. Bron Breakker had everything in his control, everything in front of him to keep his promise until it was Robert Roode who interjected himself.
Yeah, we talked about Bron Breakker running out of ammo. I'm starting to question what on earth Dolph Ziggler has left at this point. We've seen everything from his career. He's thrown everything at Bron Breakker. It's not been enough.
Ziggler, oh! To the heart of Breakker. Does he put one into the heart of the NXT Universe again? And no, again! One more time. Somehow, someway, Breakker able to kick out. What a main event match.
And you have to think if Dolph Ziggler at that point would have had the wherewithal to hook a leg, pull off a tight cover after this athletic elbow drop all the way sky high. He may well have put Bron Breakker away finally, despite the resolute defense of the challenger.
The bar is being set for WrestleMania weekend in Dallas. American Airlines Center starting to come unglued as Dolph Ziggler looks to put one final nail in Bron Breakker.
Show off doing what he does best. This may not be the time.
How's Breakker standing? How is Breakker on his feet? Breakker won't be denied. Breakker continues to come. Trifecta. Only thing left. Breakker hoisting up Ziggler. high above, also to the eye. Oh!
Turnbuckle punch missing.
Super kick, super kick, super kick.
Wow, what a shocker. He's done it, he's retained.
Here's your winner, and still the NXT champion, Dolph Ziggler.
Well, call the cops, because Ziggler stole it in the end. But it's about time you started respecting Dolph Ziggler. Start listening to the man. He promised he would come to NXT, throw a spanner in the works. He did that weeks ago. He promised he would come here on our grandest stage, stand and deliver, and retain that championship to the shock of the world. And here's how it happened.
Yeah, you're talking about shot. Braun Breaker would not be denied. Somehow, someway, Breaker continued to push forward in the matchup. But you noted this, Wade. You saw it very quickly. Right here, bang! An eye rake and an exposed steel turnbuckle before, bam! That super kick.
Listen, I saw Dolph Ziggler fooling around with that turnbuckle pad earlier in the matchup. Completely forgot about it, threw it away in my mind, but that was pivotal.
This is the champ! Nobody's done
As Dolph Ziggler put it,
he fooled everybody!
he is the past, the present, and the future of NXT.